get back on the bike and to share with you a little bit on how the Chigee AIO-5 is operated while you're riding. So let's do this. Hello guys, and welcome back. It's been a while, a long time actually. As you guys know, I met in an injury and I haven't been able to ride until I got the all clear from the doctors, and fortunately I've been very lucky that things have worked out in my favor and the doctors have given me the all clear, and now I'm back on the motorcycle, albeit I'm just taking it very easy and just starting to get used to things again. There is a bit of sense of fear there undoubtedly, but I'm just you know, getting, maybe the right term is acclimatized back to the motorcycle. Alright, it's a bit of an overcast day today. I haven't got my LED filters on, so I hope it's not too washed out the image, but nevertheless, let's get to what we are here for today. And as you guys may have actually seen, Chigee Global was kind enough to send me a unit of the AIO-5 for BMW for me to have a play with and have and also to do an independent review on. And I've been quite I must say quite impressed with the device itself, and I've done a full review on the device and I released the video not too long ago. But today what I want to do is I just want to give you an impression of how we use this device when we're actually riding on the bike. So if you're up for understanding that, let's do this. Cheers. Possible view I can for this device, and hopefully the dual cameras will help, but I'm hoping that you can actually see what I've got in front of me here. And currently if you guys are familiar with how the Wonder Wheel system works in the BMW, the default setting is that the Wonder Wheel is programmed to work on your TFT display, in which you use it to access some of the information on the TFT. But when you want to use it on the actual navigation system, all you need to do is hold the menu button up, and that until it illuminates up to navigation there, and that means that now you're connected to the Chigee device. And as you can see, I've gone to the home screen of the Chigee device. Now there are a few things that you can see displaying here. It's got the speed, it's got the compass direction, it's also got the tire pressure. Now all of this information is actually, except for the compass, the other two information, the speed and the tire pressure monitor, is read directly from the ECU of the motorbike. So what you're getting there is not GPS speed, it's actually the speed that you're getting from the motorcycle. It reads directly from the ECU. It also has got your trip data on there and so on. You've got the time as well, and you can see the GPS signal on the thing is actually illuminated, which means that it's got enough satellites there for GPS. But this GPS is not for navigation purposes. The GPS in there is generally for it to read GPS speed, but because it's now connected to the BMW navigation cradle, the GPS speed is actually overridden by the ECU, the data from the ECU. So what's feeding back to the Chigee AIO-5 is all data from the ECU. Now it's fairly simple to operate while you're riding. If you're familiar with the Wonder Wheel, you've got three icons there. The first one here is for your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. That here is for the it reads all the data. This one here goes into the, I would like to call it the BMW menu, and then this one here is the settings menu. So it's fairly easy for you to actually operate that without actually touching the screen. All you do is you use your Wonder Wheel, and if you hold your Wonder Wheel in a press and hold it in that position, it automatically goes into the BMW menu, as I would call it. So currently in the BMW menu, you get all the information. You get your speed, the RPM, that's your total input there. You got a tire pressure. Now the tire pressure here, it reads from VC, as I told you, but you can also actually program the alert limits for the TPMS system. So all you need to do is if you press and hold, there'll be an option there for you to set your alert limits. You've got your battery voltage, you've got your ambient temperature, it tells you the gear that you're in, it's got your lean sensor, lean angle as well. So as you can see, as I try to lean the bike, it reads out the lean angle as well, which is good. And you also got the engine temperature there as well. And then it's also telling me what my range is. And you can see I've got about 100 kilometers there in range. Alright, so that's the first BMW screen option. And then when you want to switch to there are two options here for the BMW screen. So this is the first option, and when you want to switch for the second option, all you do is a short press on your wonder wheel, and then you get into the second screen. Now the second screen is again you get the RPM, you get your gear positioning, you get the tire pressure. The extra information that you get in this screen is basically your total distance and your remaining distance to your next service and your service due date. That's basically the additional information that you get from this screen here. Personally, I prefer this screen. I feel it's better, but really it's up to preference on which screen you like. It's fairly simple to change. Alright, so that's the BMW screen covered, and then the third option is obviously to go into Android Auto. But before we go into there, I just wanted to point out a few other interesting features that you can see from this screen here. Now you may be able to see that you've got your elevation. It actually reads your elevation as well. So at the moment in the area that I am, it's saying that I'm 182 meters above sea level by the looks of it. And then it also has the fuel indicator up there, which means that when your fuel is running low, that'll light up. At the same time, if you press your brakes, you can see now I've got my front brake. I'm pressing my front brake very gently and it lights up your front brake, and the same thing when you do to your back brake, it also lights up there. So that way I suppose it gives you a bit of information on whether you actually unknowingly, if your legs are on your brake or your hands are on your brake towards the journey. Besides that, when you put your indicator on, it actually lights up there as well, the left and the right. So that's pretty cool. So that's a bit of extra information that you can get from this BMW screen. And obviously the third option there is the Android Auto, which I am in at the moment. So this is the Android Auto screen here. The navigation app that I use is Waze. I tend to use Waze quite a bit. I do like it. It seems to work pretty well. And then in order to use all you do is, as you move your wonder wheel, it actually moves the icon towards the application that you're trying to use, right? So for example, if you go to the Waze button here, right now it's highlighted on Waze, and when you click enter, it's either you use the signal cancel button or you push a quick push there. So I'm just going to go and push the wonder wheel in. It actually brings up Waze to the full screen, right? And then it automatically, the cursor automatically goes back to that home screen section, and when you actually click into the home screen, it goes back to this section. Now if you want to look at menus, there are a lot of apps on Android Auto. So you can see now it's highlighted on the menu sort of app button. When you go into that, again very quickly with your wonder wheel, that brings you into all the apps that you have available on your Android Auto. Now again, for Apple CarPlay that might be a bit different, but I can only speak for Android Auto at the moment. So The three maps that I use for navigation, I use Google Maps, I use Waze, as well as I also use My Route. Now My Route is a paid subscription type of a map where you can use it for basic navigation. I'll just try going into it now. So now I'm in My Route here, and again it doesn't quite work with Android Auto because I don't have a subscription. But if you've got a subscription to My Route, then you can use My Route on your Android Auto. And the beauty about My Route is that it allows you to download GPX files, and I think it works more towards using satellite rather than using your data for navigation purposes. Yeah, so that's one of the good things about My Route app. So you can see here I'm on My Route here at the moment, but it doesn't actually give me much functionalities at all. So not really the app of choice for me at the moment. But hopefully eventually when I do get a subscription, then that will help me. So again, going back to the apps that you have on Android Auto, again you can just scroll through the apps that you have. You can you know, make phone calls from here directly. If you wanted to make a phone call, you just go into the phone button there, and then you can scroll through your recent contacts, and then you can just call whoever you like to call. So that's pretty cool in that sense. Besides that, you can control your music. So the music that I use is I tend to use YouTube Music, but there are a lot of other apps. You can use Amazon Music, SoundCloud, Spotify. For me, I've got a subscription to YouTube Premium, and that gives me access to YouTube Music, and I just use YouTube Music for most of my music needs and I'm quite happy with how that actually works. So again, you can go, you can like a song, you can pause, you can go next. You know, you can access most of the options there, which is quite great in my opinion. So again, you want to go back, just scroll back there, and then you can go out if you like to. You can scroll through your podcasts, your favorites, new releases, and so on. So pretty easy to navigate around for music using the Wonder Wheel itself, which is something that you don't actually get on the that you don't normally get on your other options that you have, like the Nav 6 or even the new navigation cradle for BMW. So you see, pretty cool. You can play around and select your music and so on, which I do quite enjoy. Alright, as you can see, the Chigee AIO-5, there's a microphone icon there, which you might be familiar with if you have used Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in your cars. Now, in your cars, the microphone function works, but unfortunately with the AIO-5, it doesn't quite really work. Chigee has released a statement on their website, and I think this is actually, by the looks of it, seems to be an issue with Android Auto. So it's a Google issue rather than Chigee's issue. It's more of how the sound is transmitted back into the device, and I think what they have said on their website is that they are working on a solution. And I'm quite sure that, knowing Chigee for their commitment to the brand and their customers, that they will definitely try to solve the issue and hopefully bring some sort of a workaround or a solution to the problem where we can actually use voice commands. So what does that mean for us now? So essentially what that means is you can't use voice commands at this stage, and you are limited to using either the touchscreen or the Wonder Wheel in order to navigate through the device. Having said, yeah, so in saying that, without the microphone, I know it is a bit of a bummer for a lot of us that are hoping to use it for that function, and hopefully Chigee will fix that problem soon enough. And I'm sure we will get ongoing updates for this device and ongoing improvements as well. But just to point out that it's actually not really very difficult to sort of set in navigation points if you are on the go. So for example, now you can see I've got some favorite points already on my Google Maps, and if I hit the search button, a lot of those favorite points are already there, and it's pretty easy for me to actually just hit select one of it. So if I wanted to go to King Leg Bash, which seems to be one of my recent places, I hit that in and then start, and here I am ready to go, and it's starting to navigate me towards where I want to go. And while you are navigating, if you wanted to turn on some music, that's also quite possible. You can either just use your hand and hit that button there, and you've got music running. As you can see, I've got ABC News now. Or you can use your wonder wheel as well. Now, just as a point of interest, I also wanted to share with you the sensitivity of the device using your gloves. So I'll just do that now. So again, I'm back in the main screen, then press and hold, I'm into the BMW screen. You can see my indicator is on, and at the moment my fuel indicator is also on. That's because I've only got about 63 kilometers left on fuel, so I'm down on range, and that's why that is on. So it's a good test to know that that works. And then I'm into Android Auto now, and when you can see it's highlighted back to the home screen. Hit that, and I've got my music playing there. But if I wanted to use my hands to navigate, it's also quite easy. As you can see, it's quite sensitive, easy enough for you to do that. And then if you wanted to go into Waze, for example, hit that and you're in Waze now. How cool is that? So it's actually pretty easy, and the same thing goes here with Waze, is that you can actually just select your favorite destinations that you've got. So if I wanted to go to Roxburgh Village, hit that, and now it's navigating me to Roxburgh Village, and I've got two navigation systems running concurrently. And if I wanted to, I can just swap the screens, and again, that's also quite easy enough for you to do. Back now to my BMW screen, again to my main screen, and now I'm back to my Android Auto. So fairly simple system, to be honest, and I actually quite like it for the functionality. If I wanted to cancel navigation, I can just move that, cancel the navigation, and now I've cancelled navigation. And so having said all of that, no matter, I do acknowledge that this device is quite functional, and it's quite great, but it also has a bit of its shortcomings. So I'll share with you one of the problems that I did come across is when you are in certain applications. For example, if I am in Waze, right? So I'm in Waze at the moment. Sometimes there's a bug where you can't actually cancel this map. This again is more towards the Waze app rather than the actual Chigee device. But the bigger problem for me is, for example, is that I can't actually get back to the Android Auto home screen. That is more of the problem that I have. So it's hard to sort of get back into the menu button, and for that I sometimes will have to just click there, and then that helps me go back into the main menu. So that's just something I needed to point out with one of the shortcomings of the device. The other thing that I also found out is this. So when I go into the BMW screen, you see now we are actually on navigation, so that's why I can control the Chigee device. And as I said, when I turn on my indicators, that lights up, and I cancel, it stops. But if you are if you're not selected into navigation, let me just pass through this roundabout first. I'm just going to go here. Oops, that's better. So again, I'm in navigation at the moment, but if I select out of navigation towards my TFT screen, now you can see that I'm in the TFT screen mode. So that's how you know. If I turn on my indicators, the indicator light doesn't light up for some reason, but the brakes work. So when I hit my brakes, the brakes light up, but the indicator lights doesn't light up. But if I switch back to navigation mode and I hit my indicators, then it lights up. So I think that, I'm not sure if that is a Chigee issue or it's just how the BMW cradle sends information across. That's something I suppose I'll have to raise a question back to Chigee. So now, all in all, what do I actually think about this device? I've had it for some time now, almost 2.5-3 weeks. I have ridden with it for a number of times. I am very happy with it. You can see the screen brightness. I've set it on automatic. It has not dimmed. It just manages the screen brightness really well. I do love this BMW screen here. I just like how it displays the additional information. I actually like the form factor of this device as well. It's not too big where it doesn't actually cover your main TFT display, and it's at the right size for you to do the kind of things that you want. Now I do acknowledge that if you have got issues with your eyesight, that maybe this might be a bit too small, but again, each to their own, and each to their own preference. But just to point it out there, Chigee is actually working on a 6-inch display. This is a 5-inch display. They are currently working on a 6-inch display, and I have been informed that when that actually happens, I will be getting one of those units for me to actually review as well, which is really great. The device itself is waterproof, as you know, IP68 rating. It's really responsive, it's really quick. I really like how responsive it is between the change screens. It's good. It doesn't disconnect with my Android Auto. Now I've been riding for almost an hour and a half now. Not once has it disconnected. You know, I like this minimalistic screen here. If you just want to leave that on, it's also got these buttons on the top where you can actually use to there's certain buttons up there where you can use to go back to the home screen. There's a lock screen button and so on. So if you wanted to use those manual buttons, you could. Really easy to put on, really easy to take off. So really, I really can't fault this device. Now I know a lot of people out there are also saying that it's almost like a second screen. Why do you need that when you've got a mobile phone? Well, true, that is true, there's no doubt to that, but my response to that would be that you know, this is not subject to you know, issues like heating. So your phones can overheat. This obviously does not overheat, which is one of the greatest benefits of this device. Besides that, you know, it works in extremely low temperatures as well. You don't have to worry when it rains because your phone normally isn't waterproof. This is waterproof. So there are a few benefits there, and obviously the screen is larger. It's just what you need. You know, you can make phone calls, you can do everything that you need to do on this screen. Now look at that view there. How good is that? So in my opinion, this is definitely better than the using a mobile phone. The one thing I do miss though is that when I had my BMW Connected Ride Cradle and I had my Connected Ride app, what I did like was the way it logged my rides, how it logged my journey, my speed, everything was logged in there. I do miss that functionality, and unfortunately when you switch over to this device, you can't use that functionality. And really, for what the Chigee offers and all the added benefits that it offers, I am prepared to make that swap. I am quite happy to stick with this, and I'm happy to forego the, you know, the route logging and so on that the BMW Connected Ride app and the Connected Ride Cradle offers. Now, having said that, I do already have the Connected Ride Cradle with me, so if I ever wanted to put it on and just swap, I can do that at any time, you know. For someone that has already got the device, it's pretty easy. It's different when you have to buy and choose one from the other. So I think that's a decision that that, you know, you'll have to make from your end on what actually suits best for you. But in my opinion, for what I'm doing, this actually works pretty well. I just like it, and I think it'll work well for many people out there. Now the other question that I also got was, how is it when you are off-roading? What happens if you don't have connectivity and there's no internet and so on? Well, that's a really good point, because if you are out in the bush and you have got no connectivity, then this is not a Garmin. This is not a Garmin InReach, where it relies merely on downloaded maps and GPS. This mirrors the information from your phone. So if your phone has got no network, then unfortunately you may not be able to navigate using the native Google or Waze apps. But having said that, if you had third-party apps like for example My Route, where you can pre-download the maps and you got GPX files, then I don't see an issue with that at all. So it'll just work no different from using these apps on your phone. If it works on your phone, then it should work on the Chigee device. Now also remembering that not all navigation apps have got registration with Google. So you got to remember that only certain apps have got registration with Android Auto. So which means that I did download Riser, for example. Riser doesn't work with Android Auto, but My Route app does work for Android Auto. So just to put it out there are options out there for you to use. So if you are a hardcore off-roader and you are spending most of your time in your bush and so on, I think then this may not be the right choice for you, and your choice would be something like a Garmin, keeping in mind that it's also a subscription-based device. So all in all, that's all I have to say about the Chigee AIO-5. I do like it. I think it's great. I think it does what it needs to do for me, and I think it'll do the same for many people out there. So again guys, I hope you enjoyed this short review, and if you have liked the video, please do give me a big thumbs up. Do like, do share, do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.